Open late. Burger King, your community, your burger, your way.
And studio time by Burger King is 7:30.
The Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. And Automotive Art Cayman, your car, our passion.
And now, Radio Cayman presents The Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local environment. This is where we address the topics that matter. Here's your host, Kathy Miller.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to The Buzz. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning. The roads are very super clear. I wish I could keep this going on for the longest time, but the roads are very, very super clear in my whole entire 60-second drive to work. It was great. So a couple weeks left of summer vacation. I guess the kiddos start, is it as early as the end of next week or the week after? That's crazy to me. I mean, it's not even mid-August, but that'll be mid-August. So it goes. This morning on The Buzz, we are focusing on an artist spotlight. So we're speaking to some Caymanian musicians today. You know, we like to get a little bit of culture in our shows, right? So we do everything from business, from policy development, health, finance, and here we are with a little bit of culture for you as well. So on this very first part, we are speaking with musician, artist, singer, songwriter James Aguirre. I believe we got James on the phone this morning. Good morning, James. How are you doing?
Hi, good morning, Cassie. I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing really good. I wish you were in studio. Man, because that dynamic would be a little different, but I'm glad we still have you on the phone, and I'm excited to hear about some of your developments. So just to give people a little bit of a background about you, you are known for your, I mean, if they don't know who you are, James, and I think we got to look into some hearing aids, because how can we miss your voice, right? But you are a smooth fusion of R&B, jazz, reggae, adult contemporary, and we just heard a little bit of soca from you as well, right before the show started. You've performed across the U.S., Europe, and the Caribbean, and you're a two-time Soca Monarch winner. You recently auditioned for The Voice UK. So, James, you got to catch me up, because I don't really know about The Voice story that much. Can we start there?
Yeah, that was a pretty good journey. I did audition. I went through a few rounds and went right to the round before you get on TV, actually. Yeah, it was a good experience.
How did the experience even happen? How did the opportunity come about for you?
I auditioned online.
Online?
And I was actually in the BRAC at a gig as a playover at the farm restaurant over there. I saw the door when I got the email that they wanted me to be in person.
Were you a little worried about an online audition?
No, I wasn't. I wasn't even really thinking about it. It just happened, and I didn't know it would go anywhere, to be honest with you. And it just came up, so I had to make a decision when I got the email. Because by the time I got the email, they had been trying to reach me for a while, and maybe something was going on with my phone. But once I did get the email, I made a decision. I was off to the UK, which began a bigger journey for me, which we'll talk about this interview.
Okay, so tell me your feeling, how it was when you got that email saying we'd like you to come out. Or what did that email say, really?
It congratulated me for reaching to the next round, and they were excited to have me in person. And I think the feeling that I got was, I was grateful. It was unexpected, and I was just like, if I'm going to really be on assignment, because I think a lot of people know me for my voice, but I really tell people that I'm a business person when it comes to the music industry, that's one of my degrees are in, and I really enjoy finding opportunities that create sustainable growth and development for myself as a musician and other people. So that's really what I focus on. So that was a good opportunity. And from that opportunity, I started touring in Europe and actually now live there.
You're living in
live there.
London or
Yes,
somewhere else in Europe?
No, I live in London and in Cayman. So
Okay.
I got a place over there, and I went for the voice audition in January.
And what was that experience like? Like you can't skim over that experience. You just stepped on a
No,
stage. I'm sure there was a lot of people watching you, a lot of different eyes on you, and ears especially. But what was that experience like? What was your preparation like for that experience, that in-person audition?
yeah. So my preparation was, everything was quick. So my preparation was what I did on a regular basis. You know, I have residencies here in Cayman, at the Ritz-Carlton and the Spipers, and different festivals I've played at. So I just did music from my repertoire. So, you know, I auditioned with like Al Green's Let's Stay Together, and Frank Sinatra's My Way. The paper did a lovely piece on me, but unfortunately that piece, I think, didn't help me get through to the next round, because there is a waiver that you sign, and in the fine print it talks about not talking about a competition.
Oh no.
I think everybody was eager for me to be abroad, and people, they were eager to run a story, which was a great story. It's just,
Right.
sometimes these things happen. And as I said, so that I kept a positive attitude about everything, and just really saw what other opportunities I can get. So great experience. I loved it all.
Okay. Now the in choosing the song for that in-person audition, basically, how did you decide on the two songs that you chose? Because I would assume that you're trying to look for something that's going to showcase your incredible vocal range, right? So how did you choose something that you knew would really show the depth of your singing ability?
That's a hard decision to make if you think about it too much. I just really thought about the songs that had the most impact during my performances here. And then also songs that were diverse enough that people could hear not only the richness in my voice, but the different things that my voice could do. And so, My Way by Frank Sinatra, that's straight jazz. That's like a solo song that you gotta hit. Let's Stay Together is a little bit more groovy, speaks to, the R&B, and I also did, Wait in Vain by Bob Marley. So I did a little bit of reggae as well too.
And of course, you had to kind of have a bit of a reggae tip in there. show what part of the region that you're from, right? So I think that's pretty incredible. And I remember when this was happening, you were trying to get to the UK, that there was a bit of a funding issue. How did that all work out for you?
But at the time, it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
The email came up while I was away during a weekend, and it just wasn't working out. And I think a lot of it for me, I allowed it to become a community experience. Everybody just really wanted me to go, and one of the things I noticed in Cayman, at the time, well, I've noticed it for a long time, is that, people here they watch your story and they're invested, and so it took nothing for me to get the support that I needed to go away. I mean, I literally spoke about it, and in seconds, people were talking about GoFundMes and all this kind of stuff, and I was like, this is a lot, so I didn't really go that route, but one or two people supported the journey. I went, and it was great, and gave thanks to those people, and it just showed for me. And the reason why I'm not so upset about not making it through the whole thing with the paper is because I think everybody just was excited about seeing a Caymanian potentially go this far, you know?
Right. Especially when we know the talent that Caymanian has.
Right, right. So I think for me, I'm not bummed about the experience per se because so much national pride and support came out there. And I was just grateful. It was gratitude. The whole experience was gratitude for me. So nothing could have messed it up for me. And I was, there's obviously opportunities to go and do it again, just a little bit differently, obviously.
Right.
I wouldn't be able to tell people that I got invited.
Right.
I'd have to
So
invited, go all the way through, and then say something way later,
after maybe it even airs, I think that might be
Right.
part of the rules, which is a long time to really keep your lips sealed on something that exciting for yourself, whether you've made it through the final rounds or not, right? So would you take some accountability in this at all by sharing the fact of your experience that you were going? I mean, is it really entirely the paper's fault as to why you didn't get into that final round? Do you think you also contributed by sharing?
It wouldn't be. It's not really a fault thing. I just think the overall sharing of the total experience, like pictures that were from there and stuff like that. So, in no way, shape, or form am I blaming the paper. I'm just saying it was an unfortunate situation. I'm grateful, for everything. The publicity around it and everything.
Yeah.
So, definitely not a blame game here per se, but certain factors led to it happening the way it did.
Right. So next time this happens, you learned and you know how to move differently next time.
Yeah, but it's all good though. Like I don't know if I personally would audition for The Voice again.
Why not?
It was a cool experience, and it's because of what I do already with music. I think I'm very fortunate that I treat music like a business. I am literally my business product, and I just was talking about living in the UK now. There's a reason for that. I've secured a residency at a venue over there.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah, which I'll play 2 weeks out of the month. It's a venue in Le Mans, really upscale venue, and I'll be playing live and piano there. Starting actually next week.
Wonderful.
Be playing in Paris as well, and doing some other things in Paris that I won't say.
No worry. I understand why.
I won't say for now, but something's coming.
All right, then that's a pretty big piece of news right there. I guess we'll have to really, really stay tuned to what's going on with you to see what that development is. I want to talk about your transition to Europe, how you position yourself as a business, as a music product per se. We got to take a quick commercial break right now. When we come back, we're going to go into that side of the conversation.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Clara Eden, Certificate of Honor 1870 through 1969. Nurse Clara Eden was an extremely loyal and faithful midwife who traveled to all outer districts to deliver babies. She apparently had a record of the babies she delivered, along with the names of their parents in her first house, which burned down. At that time, she confirmed that she had delivered 1,500 babies, and when she retired, she estimated she had delivered 2,000. She took excellent care of both mother and baby for 9 days at the cost of £2. Nurse Clara was a faithful member of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. She was the only person in Grand Cayman who knew how to do starbread handwork, and in her spare time, she taught a few people how to do it.
Radio Cayman's historical vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Summer's heating up and the water's calling. From cruising the coast in your boat to riding Yamaha Wave Runners, Automotive Art Cayman will get you ready. We offer expert servicing by Yamaha certified staff as well as engine repairs, performance upgrades, engine and electrical installation, and more. Need it tuned, cleaned, repaired, or race ready? We'll keep you running smooth, whether you're riding waves or racing them. Trust Automotive Art for expert service and upgrades. Find us on Shedden Road and follow us at Auto Art KY on Instagram and Automotive Art Cayman on Facebook.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
We have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center.
Specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Who will be the next Miss Universe Cayman Islands? Join us on the 9th of August, 7 p.m. at the Westin Ballroom to see our 4 beautiful ladies vying for the crown. Purchase your tickets on Eventpro and at Funky Monkey today. VIP tickets are also available. Come out and support your favorite contestant. A special thanks to our main sponsors, the Cayman Islands Ministry of Tourism, Cayman Airways, Compass Media, Radio Cayman, Caymanian Times, King Sports Center, The Finishing Touch, Kirk Freeport, Cayman Medical Center Limited, Crystal Caves, Woodlands Corporation, and the Physiotherapy Center.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Good morning. Welcome back to The Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller, and on the phone, we are having a discussion with Caymanian musician, singer, songwriter James Geary. James, you still hanging out with us?
I am. I'm here.
Awesome. All right. And the audio sounds a little clearer right now, too, so thank you for whatever little change y'all made over there.
I plugged in my headphones.
All right. So now, I said before the break, when we come back, I'm going to ask you about positioning yourself as a music business. What does this mean? How do you do this?
So one of the biggest things that I looked into was understanding finance a bit better, and how to manage my money and time. So I spent, in 20, what was it? So I think it was 2020. Just right after COVID, I left my job. I'd been working for the government for about 10 years.
I remember that, I think, yes.
Yeah. I just really got into disciplining myself, becoming financially healthy, understanding sort of how money works, from budgeting to investment to saving. What I did was I just started to lower my cost of living, staying away from this, crazy thing we call lifestyle inflation. And, right, these terms are well known throughout the finance community and people who are just wanting to be smarter and build wealth. So I treated myself as a wealth building asset and made sure that this asset was on time, was prepared, was managing its time better, because when you go full time in music, you're not on anybody's watch. You work when you have work. And so once I did that, I continued to build great relationships in the community with these businesses that ended up hiring me to play music. So that meant getting to gigs and investing time and energy in the gigs and building relationships with the people that are there, and that just opened up many other doors.
And one of the I would assume most difficult challenges for you moving to the UK is having to establish relationships all over again, because you have them in Cayman. You're very networked in Cayman. People know you. People really admire you. You're a sought-out entertainer in the Cayman Islands. But it's different now when you cross the pond and you're in a much bigger pool of talent to compete with, kind of music managers to meet, promoters to meet, businesses to get together with, to kind of show your value and who you are. So what for you have been the biggest learning challenges in the music business upon your transition to London?
I think the concept was truly being a business. So, when I was here, people would think, naturally, there's no future for a musician here in Cayman full time.
Do you really believe that?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. I am probably the highest paid musician in the country. And what it turned around to become was to step away from that sort of thinking of that it's going to be difficult. Because when you truly learn how to network in Cayman, no matter what profession you're in, you will thrive. Because one, there's not tons of competition. There's competition, but not tons of it. You get an opportunity to not just be a musician, but you get to be a part of the ethos, like how people make money in Cayman. And so people can choose to hire me or not. They can have an iPod playing at their restaurant. They don't necessarily need me. But for what I do is 5% music, and it's 90% adding value to whatever establishment I'm at. And that's just a basic business. That's just basic business advice right there. That's a core tenet of building, of being an asset. So I promote my venues. I go and eat at the venues that I'm going to play at, and I build close relationships with the staff and the management at the venues. So I only say this to say I do the same thing in the UK. So when I went to the UK, I met a few musicians and connected with them. And when you get connected with them, they recommend you to jobs. And for me, all you got to do is put me in a room with somebody, and I'll get work. Right?
I like that confidence.
Yeah, no, I mean, when you're an asset and you have the portfolio, what would stop you from getting the job? So I don't really think about anybody being my competition in London, because nobody can do what I do like I do it.
And so exactly what is that then, musically, style-wise speaking? Because is there a genre that you're focusing on specifically while you're in London, or are you trying to hit all the different genres that we know you for?
Right. So I bring James Geary, the business product and asset, to the UK. So I bring the flavor from being from the Caribbean. I sing in 12 languages. and I do multiple genres of music. I play instruments, plus I play track performances. Plus I can help develop, if you want to have a music program at your establishment, I literally focus on developing venues that have just started with music. And if they haven't just started, adding that specific flair to your establishment. So when I come into a venue, I don't come in really as a performer asking for something, because that changes. You know, when you're coming and you're asking for something, then you're like everybody else. Then you have competition. I don't have a competition. I go in and I say, how can I better your establishment by what I do?
So you're not, and I'm putting this in bunny ears, just a musician, right? You are also, you're able to work with establishments to help curate a musical experience for that particular venue.
Yeah, because then you're adding value.
Right. So they might not ask you to perform there on a regular, but you're helping them establish what that musical experience could be. A musical program, as you said, you'll help them establish.
And the beautiful part about that is that they're always asking me to perform. So I perform at the establishment first.
Excellent.
Right? And I set the vibe, I set the experience, and then I help make recommendations on who else they can bring into the venue.
What are you learning in the UK differently, business-wise? That, some concepts maybe you didn't pick up in Cayman, but you learned that in UK.
I'm learning that in general, it's a bigger pond that you need to be focused, which has always been a concept for me. I've never taken for granted any kind of work that I've gotten. And I've learned in the UK people a lot more. I wouldn't say learn, but I've experienced a lot more appreciation for art. So now when I see people come out to my venues in Cayman, they're the same type of people that come out to my venues in the UK. They're specific type of people. And they appreciate art and they appreciate the experiences, because they're really what taught me what I need to be providing to spaces in the UK. I have loads of my expat audience, fan base is expat. So the UK has taught me that you got to hustle, but no more than I need to hustle here.
No more than you need to hustle here.
Nope. Think about it.
I'm surprised at that, actually.
You're in a smaller pond here. Right?
Yeah.
And you have to be punctual. You have to show up for gigs here. Listen, if you make a mistake or a certain mistake on a corporate gig here, they don't hire you again. Mm-hmm. Cayman is all about relationships.
Mm-hmm. And reputation,
Right. But London, you can probably get into the music circuit in one area and it has no connection to the other area. But the area I play in, which is in fine dining and then programming for tours and stuff like that, that community is very small like Cayman is. People know each other.
Right.
So you mess around in one person's venue, then they're going to know.
Word will travel.
I play primarily through members-only clubs. I play some of the more high-end. And this is why music is a little bit different for me. So I don't go as the starving artist trying to play for pennies on the dollar at venues that sell tickets. No, I go to places that have a budget for live performing.
And there's nothing wrong with that either. Like, not to take away from an artist's experience. Everybody goes through different journeys in their musical path, whatever they're trying to do. And sometimes you got to do whatever you can do to get noticed in that particular career path that you're doing. So we got to wrap up right now, James. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and letting us know what's going on in your life right now. Just please quickly mention your social media handles so people know how to follow you or get in touch with you.
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram at JAGEARY music. And my email is jamesgearymusic@gmail.com. People can reach out. And yeah, thank you.
All right, no problem. Thanks for hanging out with us this morning, and we'll be in touch with you soon. Mm-hmm. We're going to go to a time check right now, and then the 8 a.m. news. And right after that, we're going to be talking more about Caymanian musicians and music and what's going on in that scene.
Studio time now is 8 o'clock, brought to you by Foster's.
School starts here. Back to school equals back to busy, and Foster's has the food they need to fuel their day.
Our lunchbox legends are bursting with nutrition and support like Taino fruit chips, organic juice boxes, protein packs, and all the fresh fruit they deserve.
It's everything you need for breakfast on the run, getting recess ready, and the after-school heroes to keep the whole crew powered up.
So fuel their focus with snacks that win every time.
Check out our in-store school zones to make it easy to grab exactly what you need or shop online at fosters.ky/go.
Foster's, where better snacks fuel stronger days.
If they are talking about us,
living in your head rent-free all this time,
we must be relevant. Radio Cayman since 1976.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Kersley Fuller. Not guilty. That's the judgment handed down in grand court for a woman facing a slew of immigration charges. Radio Cayman's Jevi Ebanks reports.
Adriana Argueta Lobo has been acquitted of all charges in a grand court trial. She was accused of aiding and abetting illegal immigrants to escape from the Customs and Border Control facility at Fairbanks. Ms. Lobo, who consistently denied the allegations, was released after the defense presented evidence confirming she was not on island at the time of the escape. Following the defense's case, Acting Justice Kirsty Gunn directed the jury to return a verdict of not guilty on all 7 counts, formally clearing Ms. Lobo of any wrongdoing. Jevi Ebanks, Radio Cayman News.
Planning a trip to the United States? Here's some info you may want to know about. The U.S. State Department is proposing requiring applicants for business and tourist visas to post a bond of up to $15,000 to enter the United States. The department said it would start a 12-month pilot program under which people from countries deemed to have high overstay rates and deficient internal document security controls could be required to post bonds of $5,000, $10,000, or $15,000 when they apply for a visa. A preview of the bond notice, which was posted on the Federal Register website Monday, said the pilot program would take effect within 15 days of its formal publication and is necessary to ensure that the U.S. government is not financially liable if a visitor does not comply with the terms of his or her visa. The countries will be listed once the program takes effect. In other news, a challenge. The sports minister has his sights on the road, or a treadmill. CID-TV's Elizabeth Charles has more with the Honorable Isaac Rankin and Chief Officer Teresa Echeniki.
Cayman's Ministry of Youth, Sports, Heritage and Culture is advancing an active agenda for 2025 focused on youth empowerment, cultural preservation and wellness. Regarding sports and wellness specifically, the Honorable Isaac Rankin issued a friendly challenge to his colleagues on For the Record by Radio Cayman.
My elected colleagues does not know this as yet, but they'll certainly be finding out right now. I'm going to be challenging them to get up and walk, hopefully with the support of the ministry, implement a program, Let's Walk Cayman. And I got that idea and stuff from a friend of mine that since we were doing this, why don't we challenge the rest of the country to do it, including my fellow MPs.
Programs aimed at enhancing physical activity, mental health, and youth leadership through 2025 are all a part of the ministry's wider plan. And while a focus, of course, is on youth and elite athletes, that is central, they also note that their mandate extends further.
We have coaches that are going into the prison system, for example. They're also going to the Ponciata Rehab Center, because we not only want to focus on persons that are out here in the community that can just jump up and go walking or go swimming, but those persons that may have some restrictions on them as well.
Elizabeth Charles reporting. And August's edition of Underground Sessions is here.
A girl with a voice like KDB, got no choice but to love, but a voice is like a dream.
Hosted by Cayman's own Kyle Matrix, Underground Sessions gives local artists an opportunity to share their talent in a safe and welcoming space. This time at the Prospect Playhouse with featured artist Jarday.
We have anything from singers to rappers, spoken word artists, comedians, actors, anything of that nature coming up, and I'm performing. Our featured artist for this month is Jarday, who's going to be doing a bit of a longer set, as we do with our featured artists every month.
Rooted in a background of live performance in theater and music, Jardé first found their voice on stage with a sound that weaves elements of R&B, jazz, and alternative soul. Underground sessions, which include an open mic time, will take place tomorrow night starting at 7 p.m. Again, it's taking place at the Prospect Playhouse. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller.
BBC World News, I'm Tom Dewsbury. The UN says people trapped in the Sudanese city of El Fasher for more than a year are facing starvation, with no sign of an end to the siege by the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces. The RSF has surrounded the city since April last year, cutting off supplies and humanitarian access. The interim leader of Bangladesh, Mohammed Yunus, has given the status of national hero to the hundreds of people killed in the weeks-long uprising that ousted the autocratic Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina a year ago. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin are the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Hey, Bobo, Tiri, cousin, everybody. I hear Cayman Airways celebrating their 57th anniversary by giving us the gifts, about 10 of them. Because they got airfares on sale now for flights to every place they fly to next month through December. Look here, I go and book my flights now to go Galawantan this month with Cayman Airways. I'll see you directly.
Catch your seat on sale by August 11th. Other conditions apply. Book on CaymanAirways.com, our new mobile app, or call us on 949-2311. Cayman Airways, celebrating 57 years as your award-winning, uniquely Caymanian airline.
Sports. Stay up to date on your sports news with Radio Cayman Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., 6 p.m., and 10 p.m. It's all about sports.
The 8 a.m. weather update, brought to you by CG Britcade, where people come first.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 85 degrees. Relative humidity is 82%. The barometric pressure is 30.02 inches and rising. The wind is east at 9 knots. Overnight low temperature was 82. Synopsis indicate isolated showers are expected over the Cayman area due to moderate upper level support over the northwest Caribbean. Radar imagery show isolated showers to the east of the Cayman area moving west. Now the forecast for the Cayman Islands for today, calling for partly cloudy skies with isolated showers and possible thunder this afternoon. Temperatures will be in the low 90s with a heat index near 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, and seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Tonight, we can expect partly cloudy skies with a 40% chance of showers and isolated thunder, and temperatures falling to the low 80s tonight. Your winds will be easterly at 10 to 15 knots, and seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Low tide will be this afternoon at 1:15, high tide tonight at 8:16. The sun will set this evening at 6:58 and will rise tomorrow morning at 4 minutes past 6. And the outlook is calling for similar weather conditions through Wednesday morning.
Aunt Angie, how does it feel to have broken the bull riding world record?
Sore, Sean. That bull was angry.
Angie, I think that bull is headed towards your red convertible.
I broke the world record and he broke my car. Oh well, at least I've got CG Comprehensive Motor to cover this.
Get covered for collision, damage, and more. CG Brit K. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by CG Brit K, where people come first.
For the Health of It, heard on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and repeated on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. is brought to you by The Light Room. Tired of being unwell and struggling to find the energy and vitality to live the life you desire? Come get recharged from the inside out at The Light Room. Our non-invasive, holistic energy enhancement system detoxifies and energizes the body, enabling self-healing and balance. Book online at www.thelightroom.ky or call 938-HEAL, 38 Pasadora Place, GT.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Good morning. Let's take a look at what's happening on our roads. Slow-moving traffic on Cool Road heading to Georgetown. Slight delays expected. Coming off of Agnes Way, traffic is steady. Steady traffic on the Linford Pearson Highway. And coming off of Bobby Thompson Way as well. And continuing on to Huldah Avenue. As we look to the West Bay area from the West Bay four-way stop, flowing at a good pace. On the West Bay Road, moderate flow of traffic in both directions, especially from the Ritz. Back to the east and Shamrock Road, flowing moderately in both directions. Coming off of the Esley Tibbetts Highway, traffic is moving along at a moderate pace. And continuing on to the Industrial Park area, steady but flowing traffic on North Sound Road. Eastern Avenue and Godfrey Nixon Way flowing pretty good in both directions. No issues on Owen Roberts Drive as traffic is light to moderate. And on Shedden Road, moderate flow of traffic in both directions. That's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes past 12. We'll give you another look at traffic. Have a good morning and click it or ticket.
There's something new at Subway. Indulge your taste buds with our new barbecue pork rib sandwich tender. Smoky pork ribs smothered in sweet and tangy barbecue sauce, built just the way you like it. It's bold, rich, and seriously satisfying. But hurry, it's here for a limited time only. Order now on the Subway Cayman Islands app for quick in-store pickup, or get it delivered with Bento or Let's Eat. The all-new barbecue pork rib sandwich, only at Subway. Subway, eat fresh.
Yummy.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Good morning and welcome back to The Buzz. I am your host, Kathy Miller. And if you're just joining me this morning on Radio Cayman, we are doing an artist spotlight with some Caymanian artists. In the first segment, we spoke with James Geary. And now in this segment, I'm speaking with one of my favorites because, man, this personality, the charisma, it's unmatched. It's unmatched. So welcoming to the studio, I have in here Mr. Stuart Wilson, who's an internationally recognized Caymanian artist whose fusion of reggae, soul, and jazz has captivated audiences across the globe.
Thank you
like
so
that intro?
much. That's a very nice thing to say. It's a pleasure to be here with you this morning.
It's very true about you, Stuart.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
great
you.
to have you here. How are you doing? What's going on?
I'm great, man. I'm thankful, Had a lovely morning this morning. Woke up quite early and, had a lovely breakfast. And it's been a great day so far, so I'm thankful,
What's quite early for you?
About 5:30, 6.
Okay, that's 5:30 is early for me.
Yeah,
so.
that's early for a musician.
A lot of the times y'all aren't going to bed until then, or until 8 a.m., 9 a.m.
No, I wish. That was when I was a little bit younger. But nowadays, I try to make it a point to get good rest, lots of exercise, drink lots of water.
Yes, me too.
And just kind of stay on top of that side of things, because being when you're out playing, you want to be at your best.
Yes.
And I think that's a holistic approach to the whole thing is kind of where you want to be,
Interesting, because you do want to take care of yourself as much as possible.
Yeah.
But the music industry on a flip side is also...
Yeah, you can drown in the honey. You can drown in the honey.
Yeah, there you go. Sometimes there's different honey out there that you can get involved in, and that can be your downfall, right?
Yeah.
But that could be in any industry as well.
Any industry. And I mean, I think we have to be so conscious of that because especially in music, there are so many, distractions, especially, sometimes out at the gigs and stuff. You have to really understand why you're there and what you're trying to do. As I've grown up and I got a little bit older, it's meant more to me. My approach has changed quite a bit, and like I said, I try to take a more holistic approach to how I look at music, how I look at the industry of music, and the relationships and things and like this. So it's kind of a more of a spiritual thing for me now.
How would you say then you previously looked at music?
Well, for me, it was always. I mean, I was born a musician, and so there was not a lot I could do to avoid being a musician. So I was never really attracted to it because of bright lights and some of the trappings of success. But I always used to just look at it as something that I did because I enjoyed it and it was good for me and other people. But now I look at it as a service to my fellow man and contributing to the stream of consciousness of mankind. And that sounds, I know, maybe a little bit too philosophical, but I do see it as a higher calling and something that requires me to live the best way that I can in order to fulfill that destiny.
So it's not necessarily always about the dollars here.
No, man, no. So it's not about how much money you make. It's about what you create.
So this is what I'm going to ask. So our last guest made a comment that he's probably the highest paid musician in the Cayman Islands.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, interesting. And then I thought, okay, there's so many other artists that come to mind that have such a longevity in the industry in Cayman.
Yeah,
so does being the highest earning musician from the Cayman Islands...
I don't know.
What is that? What is that?
I don't know why
what does that mean.
For me, that is, well, I mean, I'm happy for that person, and certainly I'm sure that they're working hard, but I'm not sure. For me, that's never really been the measuring stick.
Mm-hmm.
For me, the barometer, the litmus test for success is how many people enjoy your music and how many people are being edified and uplifted by what you're creating. At the end of the day, that is really the sort of standard for success.
I think that's a beautiful definition of success.
Yeah.
From a musician's perspective.
Yeah,
absolutely. I think so.
Yeah.
So what's going on with you now?
Well, I'm thankful. I just finished law school, so I finished my LLB.
Don't just shrug, man. He shrugged in here like, yeah, it's whatever. I just finished it. I'm clapping. He just shrugged. Like, that's a huge achievement, Stuart.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And now I've just done my PPC, which is like the follow-up to the LLB.
Right.
And so I'm getting ready to start articles now and actually become an attorney. Which is a lot of fun. And I've always sort of loved to read and write, and I was a journalist many moons ago. And I still contribute to some of the papers on island, writing articles and this kind of thing. So being a lawyer is kind of using the same toolkit. It's a lot of reading and writing. It's a lot of taking complex ideas and change and making them sort of palatable for laymen. And so I really enjoyed the process of getting the law degree and then going through all of the sort of motions of doing that.
I'm really curious here right now because you, from the moment I met you, some maybe 20 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
You've always been a creative, very super creative. It doesn't mean you can't have any other skills about you, right?
Certainly.
But you've always lived as a creative,
absolutely,
right? Creating music and being an entertainer, and also the journalism part.
Right.
Law is a complete opposite.
Yeah, well,
it's a lot more stringent. It is the law.
Indeed, it's a little more rigid, but it's not static because a lot of what law entails is using ideas from many different places as well as the rules, and then coming up with something that is distinctly unique within its own respect, whether that is an argument that is a new take on an old idea, or a way of doing things that is uncommon. And so law, there is some creative aspects within the law that allow you to use language, creative ideas, and creative writing to bring about results that are probably different than the status quo.
So has it challenged your writing techniques?
Absolutely. I think I'm a better person for having done this, and it's made me a better musician as well, because I appreciate the creative aspect of my life much more than I did before.
Interesting.
And, I got into law because of the advocacy aspect of it, because I would receive royalties for my music all over the world, and I would never receive any royalties from Cayman. And I always wondered why that was. And I began to look deeper into it, and I realized that what was happening was that a lot of the entities on island were not paying the blanket license to the performing rights organizations. And, this was I don't want to get too deeply into that, but it took me down some rabbit holes. And I decided, I ended up advising the lawyers that I was working with, and I realized that maybe this was something I could do. And I figured, just why not? In life, you have to kind of be a good steward of all of your gifts and not just focus on one thing necessarily and become pigeonholed. And try to your best to live a life in a way that allows you to be expressive in many different avenues.
And that is something that you have been doing.
I'm trying. I really am. And the thing is, it's just about fulfillment, personal fulfillment, enjoyment, doing things that are challenging to you, things that are outside of the box. I like to do that kind of stuff because sometimes, otherwise I get bored in life easy,
Yep.
And for me, I'm the kind of guy that has to stay busy. I get into trouble if I'm not busy.
All right.
So I try to keep myself very busy. And these are fun things. Like, the law is and getting involved with reading and creative writing and that aspect of things. It's a lot of fun, really.
I can understand how studying law has helped you become even a more creative person and a better musician.
Yeah.
I can understand that because I think if I was so almost confined by the rigidness of law, I would need an outlet more.
Yes, absolutely.
To be able to kind of express myself and get the words out that I really want to get out.
100%. You're absolutely correct, Kathy. And like I say, when I come back to the music after, say I have a long day at class and then I have a gig that night, for me it's like, then when I get to the gig, then I'm so ready to embrace that part of my life that it's like a fresh breeze on the whole idea of performing and that part of my life. After leaving, a lecture or something like that, I think to myself, oh, well, I can't wait to grab my guitar. And then after a long night of playing music, I think to myself, man, I can't wait to grab a book and learn something new or do something, add to my skill set in a way that's going to be progressive,
What are people's response when they understand, okay, you're Stuart Wilson. We know you as a musician, but now you're also Stuart Wilson, attorney.
Yeah, well, you're never your role in life.
But often people just, as you said, the pigeonhole, and we're not almost allowed per se by society to transition into other parts of careers, different careers.
Yeah,
do other things.
I'm not. The funny thing is that I don't necessarily identify with any one particular role in my life, even though that's how people see me. I just want to be fluent, and I just want to be somebody that can adapt and somebody that is always evolving. I don't we tend to get attached to our roles and identify with them.
Yes.
But that's not who we are.
Right.
We're much greater than what we do.
Exactly. Your role doesn't
define you.
It doesn't define you.
Doesn't define
identify
you.
your
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I try not to focus on that part of things too much. Like, people see me as a musician, so I got to be a musician kind of thing.
Yeah. Whatever that equates to.
Yeah. I just kind of want to do the things. I just like to follow my zeal and get involved with things that I find exciting and invigorating, edifying, sort of things that inspire me in the moment. And so whether that's music, law, beautiful women.
Where you get into trouble. Don't give them too much time to gaze upon the beautiful women.
Lovely, great food, traveling, whatever that is at that point in time, I'm happy to explore.
You gave me a segue right there. When you said great food. So you've been going viral.
Yeah.
There's a video that you put out, last week, the other week?
Yes, indeed.
It was Cayman versus, was it Jamaican cuisine? Yeah. And so I saw the video.
Yes.
And, automatically it comes to mind. I'm like, well, I kind of think Jamaica's going to win this one, Stuart.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, absolutely. And when you explained about the fish rundown in the video, I was like, yeah, okay, I get it. And then I was like, you know what? There's no beef in the world that I like better than Cayman style.
That's right.
Right.
Well, I want to say this, and yes, people may be familiar with me with this video by now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's whenever I go, I said, people looking at me, I say, you've seen the infamous cuisine video. They're like, yes, you're the guy. The thing is, I love Caymanian food more than any other food in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I love our Cayman style beef. I love the stew conch.
Yes.
The way that we do cassava cake, they don't do it that way anywhere else that I know of. I love the Cayman style lobster, the way we do our fish rundown and the type of fish that we use, the turbot.
Yeah.
And then the way that we do it and the actual things that we put into it, I think make our food exceptional. And the stew turtle. Anybody who's ever been to Pirates Week or one of these events where they have Caymanian food in these stalls, they know that. It's hard to argue that food is not phenomenal, amazing. And
stew conch is also one of my top
conch,
5.
yeah, man,
so jerk chicken isn't.
Right.
So now I'm like,
I'm telling you, I can argue this and make a good. And the thing is now, like I said in the video, my dad is a Jamaican,
Mm-hmm.
and we used to have a Jamaican restaurant called Jamin Smokehouse. People might remember.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother, I think, was probably one of the first people to cook curry goat in this country in the 1960s.
Wow.
And she used to sell curry goat from Sound Road. And so that part of my heritage and that part of who I am is very strong.
Mm-hmm.
But I love Caymanian food more than any other food on the planet. Maybe that's just me, but I think the cuisine here is so unique and distinct that to me it's just it tops anything else. I've traveled, maybe the second in line is probably Thai food, Thailand.
Really?
Yeah.
And whenever somebody says to me, let's go for dinner, where do you want to go for dinner? usually it doesn't matter. I'm like, you please pick the spot. I'm tired of deciding things. Whatever you do, don't pick a Thai spot.
Why?
It had no.
No?
Yeah, it doesn't agree with me.
I love Thai food.
Maybe I haven't experimented enough with it, so it's interesting that you say that. We got to go to commercial break, but I mean, before we go, you heard my opinion at first, if it's, between Cayman versus Jamaican cuisine.
Yeah.
We just had the Jamaican Independence Day celebrations over the weekend, so people got a taste of that again now.
Right.
Now, what do our listeners think? Who's winning here? Is it Cayman cuisine? Is it Jamaican cuisine? I wanna listen to what people have to say on that perspective. And I understand I'm probably bringing myself to slaughter a little bit by posing that question.
These are personal preferences, so people should not ever feel like they're, it's not an attack on anyone.
Yeah.
It's just what you like.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So the numbers to call, 949-6990, 949-8037, or you can WhatsApp call or WhatsApp text us at 925-3261. Who's winning here? Cayman cuisine or Jamaican cuisine? And we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I'm going to continue our discussion with Stuart Wilson.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
We have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center.
Specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market. We are in the hurricane season, and knowing what to do after a hurricane can be as important as preparing for the storm. After the passage of a hurricane, seek medical attention if it is needed at hospitals and clinics for those persons who are injured. Do not touch power lines and cables that are down. They may be active. Report them to 911 or the utilities emergency hotlines. Broken tree limbs should be removed from around homes or buildings if possible. This hurricane information has been brought to you by Breeze FM and Radio Cayman.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Welcome back to The Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller, and we are talking with Stuart Wilson, who is a Caymanian artist, musician, but he's a lot more than that. He's also now an attorney. He just finished his LLB and his, what was it? The
PPC, Professional Practice Course.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah.
I don't want to give it the wrong acronym.
No, you're good. You're.
And, I did pose that question and said, if somebody wants to say, hey, this is the preference, Cayman cuisine versus Jamaican cuisine, who is better?
Yeah.
I did say, give us a call, text us, let us know what you think. Who's got the better cuisine?
Yeah.
I know that's a bit of a controversial question out there.
It's a hot button topic at the moment.
We'll see if anybody wants to answer that. But yeah, you do have a pretty viral video that just went out last week on that.
Yeah.
I want to touch on...
Yeah.
I know you left Cayman for a few years, and you also moved to the UK for a little bit to get your music career popping over there, right?
Yeah.
And there was a lot of different lessons and ways that you approach music differently during that experience as well. Before we get into that, we do have somebody with an opinion on who has better cuisine.
Wow.
So the call came in.
It wouldn't be long.
Good morning. Thank you for calling The Buzz.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you doing?
Good morning to you guys, and good morning to my guy here, man. That's my boy.
All right.
Stuart.
All right, bro. How you doing?
This Graham, bro.
Hey.
Yeah. Listen, I was on OC show about 2 a week ago talking about putting value on things Caymanian.
Right.
You came with the video. You did exactly what I was talking about, my brother.
Yes.
You are the man right now. Listen, because,
Thank you.
and I too visit your grandmother after Galleon Beach in the night, you know.
Okay, all right.
But, you know, we got a quick curry chicken with some rice.
Right.
Food is not that simple.
Right.
And we couldn't go nowhere after Galleon at night and get curry goat run down because those kind of cuisine is so personal. You got to spend so much time.
Yeah, it's not everybody can cook curry goat, you know.
Yeah. But it's so much that goes into the Cayman cuisine, you know.
Right.
The coconut milk, the this, the that. Yeah. You got to put the right diet. You know, because Cayman people was so much into their cuisine that if it's not good, they'll talk about you.
That's right.
I went over to her house, boy. She had some old Stuart Wilson, boy. That wasn't good.
That's right. So, and you know, from district to district, they were very competitive too. Because you know, you had East End, and the people say, "Well, boy, you got to get that East End conch or that East End turtle," and then you might go, a man might say, "Boy, I love West Bay." You know, it's really our people throughout the years have really, I think, you know, this food that we have here, you can't find it anywhere else in the world.
Nowhere else.
Nowhere
else, Stuart, because you can go anywhere. I can go in your own and get curry goat and curry chicken.
That's right.
You know?
Right.
But you can't go anywhere else and get, especially an East End rundown or East End
turtle stew.
Stew turtle.
Right.
Or wilk or... And you know what I remember, Stuart?
Yeah.
Back in the day, with the Paris Week first started, people would not move their car in town to go to a local restaurant in town. Right. They'd rather get it delivered. But they would get in their car on East End Paris Week Day.
Wow.
Drive all the way to East End, stand in a long line.
What?
To wait to get food.
Yeah, this still happens.
That's why I say, you know Graham... I agree with you. That's why I said what I said, because, I mean, I took a lot of heat for saying that I enjoy Cayman food more than any other cuisine in the world. And I think, but you know, we got to now stop being so shy about who we are as a people, Caymanians, people. And because what we have here is a special thing. And it wasn't natural resources that made Cayman what it is, you know. It's our people and who we are. That's what made Cayman. Now, we went from a sleepy little fishing village to the pearl of the Caribbean, and it wasn't because of any natural resource. Our resource was our people. And we got to stop being so shy about expressing that and being proud of who we are. You know, you go to the radio stations all around Cayman, there's people from every other nationality, they're playing their music from their countries, you know. But we, as you know, when we say play some more Cayman music, they look at us like we often get lost in the shuffle. And it's happened with the food. It's happened with our boat building. It's happened with so many aspects of who we are as a people. And you know, part of my work, not just as a musician, but even with the National Trust as a historic programs manager, is to keep these traditions alive, celebrate our people, celebrate the things that are emanating from these shores, and try to bring back some of that national pride, you know?
You keep talking and I'm going to nominate you for National Hero.
Hey, and I think they actually had that music and arts, you know, you should have done that a couple years ago.
Yeah, well, you know,
it's going to come up again.
The time is now. The time is now for it, you know?
On the note of music, when I speak to DJs about playing, I say play some Cayman music and stuff, and these guys just not long come along. I say, listen, guy, don't you know that Member Justice had a #1 hit in Jamaica?
Yeah.
Eh?
Yeah.
Hey, that's not easy to do.
No.
Have a #1 hit in Jamaica back in the day when you had so many other different good artists.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
That's a huge accomplishment.
You know? Yeah, so boy, you know, kudos to you, boy. You just keep it up, boy. You make me proud. So proud, my brother.
Thank you, Graham. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you for the call, and I guess we know where he sides.
Yeah.
Definitely the Caymanian food.
He's on it. Yeah.
And Stuart, I agree with you.
Yeah.
There's so much that I hear out there about just, you know, be humble and don't celebrate yourself for successes.
Yeah.
And I think there's a bit of an issue in that. Yes, there's the extreme of kind of narcissism when you do that, but then there's it's okay to recognize.
Yeah, I mean, we as Caymanians, you know, we are a quiet people in terms of that aspect. Like we're not loud, and you know, sometimes I think that we should be, because when it comes to our culture and our national pride and who we are as a people, we should be. We shouldn't let anything drown that out. And even though we are a minority in the country now, we still have to find a way to venerate the great things about us as a people, and be able to make sure that we don't lose that in the mix.
Yeah.
And that's why I love this government that we have today. Is I think that because things have been so lopsided for so long, and we have to balance that with a bit of what some may see as extreme.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not extreme. It's just bringing balance where things were lopsided once before. And you know, it's not easy to say difficult things. It's not easy to, you know, be a voice where people may not want to be a voice. Like, you know, sometimes it's, you know, you're that one voice in the wilderness. You know, you might attract the wrong kind of attention if you're saying things that people don't always agree with.
Right.
But it's a necessary part of getting the truth out, because the truth often is an offense, but it's never a sin.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what I want people to understand. There's nothing wrong with saying, I love being Caymanian. I love Caymanian food. I love Caymanian people. I love Caymanian music. You know?
I agree that you got to pop your collar. And every once in a while, it's okay to pop your
collar. You gotta pop your collar,
man.
Pop
your collar. We got another call, so it might be somebody weighing in on the cuisine question that I put out there.
Let's do it.
Good morning. Thanks for calling the Buzz.
Yes. Good morning. Am I on the air now?
You are. How are you doing today?
I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed because I'm a Caymanian.
All right.
And that food was music to my ears. All of them foods you were mentioning.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, 100%.
Back in the 70s, when Cayman was just sort of blossoming for, you know, tourism and finances, and it was a difficult thing down in Texas finding even the ingredients to make the Caymanian food.
Right.
But like you said, we would drive from Port Arthur all the way to Houston.
Wow.
Because we could find some ingredients like green plantain and all, you know, some kind and stuff. Because my mama, you know, she loved her food, and I know her children did.
Right.
You know, and though, you know, being Caymanian is a thing from the heart.
Yeah.
It's not something that my mama was born here, my daddy was born here. But we come from another country. That don't make you Caymanian.
Right.
Caymanian is in the heart.
Yeah.
You got to understand that to really appreciate what we bring to the table to this whole world that of different cultures.
Yes.
And we got to push it.
You're right.
We got to be sure only us Caymanians can tell people about what it's like to be a real Caymanian.
That's it. And you know, we are we're a small group of people. There's only 30,000 of us or something like that. And I mean, so we got to be extra loud about who we are. I mean, in this world, you know, we are a small remnant of people, but we're a powerful people as well, and we have a great culture here, something that we ought to be proud of, and I really do appreciate your calling and saying that, you know.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you, caller. That was an amazing little story that you shared, especially trying to get the ingredients down in Texas, looking for how you can make at least as close to Caymanian food as possible.
Yeah.
I think we got one more call, and then we got two more calls. We're going to take one now, and then we're going to go to a break.
All right.
So let's take the next caller. Good morning. Thanks for calling The Buzz.
Hey, good morning.
Hello. How are you doing?
Okay, Miss Calton. Good morning to Stuart.
Hey, morning, man. Morning, bro.
Okay. Yeah, well, speaking of Carragoat, I'm in the UK now. I don't know if you've been to Turtle Bay restaurant.
No, I can't say that I have, you know.
Yeah, there's a nice restaurant here. I try to go there at least once a week, and every time I go there, I get the curry goat. And being in a foreign country, and I was surprised how good the curry goat is there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and they serve it. When they serve it without bones.
Wow.
Just pure meat.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but I have a question, Stuart.
Yeah.
When it comes to making music, what is the most you have ever heard someone make off of a single?
Wow, that's a really good question. You know,
Are you asking out of musicians in the Cayman Islands?
No, worldwide.
Worldwide. Well, you know, that's a good question. They say that a hit single from radio within 6 months to a year can generate anywhere from between $250,000 to $2 million on radio. And I would venture to say maybe more than that, because I had a song that played on NPR, public radio in America. And for that one spin on NPR, it was $15.
For the one spin?
For one spin. Yeah.
That was the royalties that you got.
That was when I looked at my ASCAP.
That full 15 went to you. That wasn't broken down into 100 people.
No.
Wow.
It was between me and JG. Well, it was $30, I guess, because he and I owned the song 50-50. I couldn't believe it. I thought, man, $30 for one spin on National Public Radio.
Compare that to digital stream.
Yeah, digital stream. The radio is where the money's at. And for streaming, you know, it's 0.003 pennies. It's a fraction of a penny per stream. But that it depends on the market, because if it streams in a first world market like America or Britain, it's 0.003. But if it streams in a third world market like Nigeria or Brazil, it's less than that. And so and then you got the music business. Where it's at now is you really have to be really smart to make something out of it, because if you don't have music playing on radio, you're gonna have to try to do millions of streams to make up for that.
Right.
And if you're not doing millions of streams, then you have to do sync licensing to make up for that. But the gist of it is this. Recorded music is something that has only existed for the last 120 years. Before that, music was very ephemeral. You had to see the artist live to hear the music. And so, because music has become so ubiquitous and they're so saturated now, the value of it has gone down. So, in order for us to get back the scarcity, we have to sort of create ways of creating that scarcity. And for me, what that has meant is actually not recording as much and performing more. So if you want to hear a Stuart Wilson song, or you got to come see Stuart Wilson live at a hotel or at a gig or something like that. But that's having said that, I still do record music, but it's not the thrust of my business concerns anymore. Mostly it's performing.
That's interesting that you say that. Thank you, caller, for your question. We've got to go to a commercial break, but right before no, let's go to the commercial break.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring my thought after the break. And we got another caller waiting on us as well.
Okay,
all right.
Cool.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Cruise cruise into summer with expert service from Automotive Art Cayman. More than a retail store, it's your one-stop auto care shop. We offer paint, detailing, accessories, wheels, Yamaha parts and products, batteries, tire repairs, tire changes, and more. Need top-tier shine and protection? Grab Gliptone detailing gear, Chevron synthetic oil, and Axiom car care kits. Get expert service with premium products all under one roof. Wherever you cruise, make your pit stop at Automotive Art first. Find us on Shedden Road and follow us at Auto Art KY on Instagram and Automotive Art Cayman on Facebook.
Hey, Bobo, TD, cousin, everybody. I hear Cayman Airways celebrating their 57th anniversary by giving us the gifts, about 10 of them. Because they got airfares on sale now for flights to every place they fly to next month through December. Look here, I go and book my flights now to go Galawantan this month with Cayman Airways. I'll see you directly.
Catch your seat on sale by August 11th. Other conditions apply. Book on CaymanAirways.com, our new mobile app, or call us on 949-2311. Cayman Airways, celebrating 57 years as your award-winning, uniquely Caymanian airline.
Social media, X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Interact with our talk shows on YouTube. Download our official Radio Cayman app, or you can log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky. You can also add us to WhatsApp
on 925-3261.
All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Radio Cayman. The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Welcome back to The Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller. And to answer the last caller's question, I think he said, what's the best-selling single of all time or in the world?
Well, yeah.
I thought it was Michael Jackson. Top of mind, I was like, it has to be Michael Jackson.
Maybe it's Mariah Carey, huh?
It's
Christmas
actually Bing Crosby.
Oh, yeah. Well, White Christmas. That's right.
From 1942.
I'm dreaming.
So, and then, yes. So, actually, Mariah Carey does top that from... So, a list of the best-selling singles released before 2000 based on worldwide certified unit sales, which is digital and physical copies. Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Yeah.
Released in 1994.
Yeah.
So Christmas is topping.
Yeah. I mean, every Christmas, Mariah Carey does extremely well, I think, with that song.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear it's everywhere.
But the fact that there's two Christmas songs that top the highest selling singles globally for decades.
Kind of makes you want to go record a Christmas song.
Yes, exactly. I might become a seasonal musician all of a sudden. Yeah. All right, let's take the next caller.
Absolutely.
I hope they're still there.
Yeah.
Good morning. Thank you for calling The Buzz.
Good morning to the show. Good morning to Stuart.
Hey, morning.
Stuart, I like to sitting here listening to you. I'm thinking, say...
Blakey!
That's all. I'm thinking about you and how we met. And
yes.
Do that. Anytime I hear your voice or I hear your song, I remember you.
Alrighty.
And I put you in a class, actually.
All right.
Of people who have, I would say, ambitious common sense that takes you to places that you never thought you were going.
Indeed. Yeah.
And it connects because there's a large number of Caymanian seamen who left the islands that could only sign their name.
Yeah.
And they became sea captains, engineers, and navigators.
Yeah.
But that, right, there is a connection. So you're a real Caymanian, my friend. No way getting away from that. And the stance that you take makes me very, very proud.
Thank you so much, Blake. That means a lot to me,
I remember you worked at Cayman Islands one time, right?
No, that was my uncle. My uncle worked there. My uncle Herman.
Right. So what you were doing around that time?
I might have been at the fire station as a little intern, doing some work at the fire station, and I worked at the courthouse for a little bit for my summer jobs, and then I worked at immigration. Then I went off to university, and then I came back and I was a journalist. for some time, and then I think right after that it's kind of when I met you. You know, right.
We had a little trio.
Yeah, we had a little trio right after Hurricane Ivan. It was around about 2006. That might have been.
And you created a rhythm on a single drum.
Yeah.
I know we had a lot of fun with it, but I can tell you the truth. I play a lot of small settings, and anytime I play,
yeah,
my mind, because you had conquered that rhythm so well.
Yes, yeah, with the djembe.
Yeah, the djembe, you used your knuckles, your palms, your fingers, and the rhythm was so tight. It's like, that one drum he's using?
Yeah. Those were good days, man. Those were really good days, you know.
Well, anyway.
Yeah.
Really appreciate you.
Thank you.
You know who I am.
Indeed.
I'm still playing. I'm 69 years old.
I know you guys are up at Tuca.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah.
A lot of the time.
August, West. They're 6 till 9, but they're closed now for the break.
Right.
So I'll be back in October.
Yeah, man. Well, if you guys listening get a chance to go check out Blakey and Chuck and those guys up at Tuca, man, when they're back on.
Okay, so back to the food now. There's one thing one Cayman ingredient that we don't see anymore.
That's the corn turtle.
That's the top cornbread.
Oh.
The corn turtle, I use that too because of the accessibility and the time. You know, corn turtle was done as to preserve food, actually.
Right.
So it wasn't really about the flavor.
Yeah.
Custard top cornbread, the last time I ate piece, I thought could compare to what old Caymanians did.
Yeah.
Long time ago. That was poor Sheila in Sheila's restaurant. If you told Sheila you wanted something, she didn't have it, that was a challenge, but the next day she had it.
Wow. Wow. Well, you know who might be able to do that cake, Blake, is Renda Cornwall. She might be able to reproduce that. And she does a lot of work with us at the National Trust because we have our cassava cake classes up in Bordentown at the Mission House. And she does a wonderful cassava cake. But I'm sure she could do that cake you're talking about.
But that's something special because the bottom has a crust. The top has the custard on the top is almost like a gel, and it's made from coconut.
Wow.
This is making me extremely hungry.
I know the cake you're talking about, you know. I'm sure I know that cake.
Yeah, there's some place.
Yeah, and it's on the top is like white, like swirly, kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree. Somebody's got to bring it back. So hopefully that'll happen next time. We might hear who's going to bring that back. And you also just called out Renda, so.
Yeah.
Might know how to contact some people. It's got to be somebody that can do it.
Yeah.
I don't see it anymore.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, caller.
Thanks, Blake.
Appreciate that. All right. So he didn't tell us what the cuisine that he preferred, but that's okay.
I'm pretty sure I answered.
I think he's leaning.
It goes without saying, I think.
His memories were just about some of his favorite Caymanian cuisine right there. So I think we know where he's leaning, right?
I'm sure he's in the Caymanian cuisine.
So we only have a couple minutes before the 9 a.m. Headline news. So I want to go back to the question that I tried to ask, which was you did move to the UK, and this was to help kind of pursue your musical career there.
Mm-hmm.
You went through so many different journeys in the UK. For you, what was your biggest lessons that you did learn? How did that pivot your musical direction?
The biggest thing I learned in the UK was really about music publishing, you know, and I had the opportunity to really get close to the actual other side of music beyond just performing and creating it, and actually into actual monetizing it. And I mean, you know, publishing is really an interesting part of the whole sort of chain of events.
One of the most important parts.
It's really one of the most important parts of and it's kind of like the musician's pension, you know?
Yeah.
And so was really one of the major things I learned from England. And I always say, when I came back home and I learned, when I was there and I learned about blanket licensing and the things at radio stations, and I came back home and I started asking around, why am I not receiving royalties from Cayman? We realized that Radio Cayman is the only station in this country that pays the blanket license.
That's right. Say it again.
Yeah, Radio Cayman is the only radio station in this country that pays the blanket license. And for some time, those monies weren't making it back to the writers and publishers of music. So I got in touch with the people at PRS, the Performing Rights Organization Society in England. And I explained to them, look, we're here, and if Radio Cayman is paying this blanket license, we're not receiving our royalties. What's going on? And they explained to me that they weren't receiving the logs of the songs that were playing. So that's why they were paying out the money analogously. That means we still haven't gotten a real definition of whether that means to acts that were more prominent, like international acts, or if that meant to executive bonuses at the end of the year. We don't know what analogous meant, but we know we hadn't received any money.
But it wasn't being paid out to you,
it wasn't
the
being
musician.
paid, right? No, not to the people whose works were being sort of exploited, and so. I then put the people at PRS, the board members at PRS, in touch with the director here at Radio Cayman, and I put those two in sync, and I created a bridge where the logs are now going over, and what's happened is that as a result of that, Caymanians will get some money when their music is played on the radio now.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah.
I want to stay on this topic.
Yeah.
We got to hit the 9 a.m. headline news.
Mm-hmm.
When we come back, we're going to get into a little bit more depth on that subject right there.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
If you live in Little Cayman, prepare for a planned power outage. It's taking place tomorrow from 8 a.m. until 12:30 p.m. as Island Energy does pole upgrades. The areas affected will be Olive on Kirk Drive North to Sam McCoy's, and they apologize for any inconvenience caused during the time of the upgrade. Israeli military reports that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is to propose fully reoccupying the Gaza Strip when he meets his security cabinet. A local journalist has quoted a senior official saying, quote, "The die has been cast. We're going for the full conquest of the Gaza Strip and defeating Hamas." Responding to reports that the army chief and other military leaders oppose the plan, the unnamed official says, quote, "If that doesn't work for the chief of staff, he should resign." The family of hostages fear such plans could endanger their loved ones, with 20 out of the 50 believed to still be alive in Gaza, while polls suggest 3 in 4 Israelis instead favor a ceasefire deal to return them. And Texas Republicans have voted for the arrest of dozens of Democratic legislators who fled the state in an attempt to block a plan to redraw electoral boundaries. Republican Governor Greg Abbott ordered state troopers to, quote, "locate, arrest, and return to the House chamber any member who has abandoned their duty to Texans." Abbott also threatened to charge the absent Democrats with bribery if they raised public money to cover the daily fine they incur for boycotting the chamber. The redrawn congressional map would create 5 more Republican-leaning seats in the U.S. House of Representatives in Washington, D.C., where Republicans currently hold a slim margin. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Welcome back to The Buzz. I do have Stuart Wilson with me in the studio. I'm your host, Kathy Miller, and he's warming up on the guitar a little bit, so we're going to have a bit of a live studio performance for our listeners shortly. Yeah, you brought the guitar.
Yeah, this goes everywhere with me.
It makes
my
sense.
guitar. It's never far away.
That's me and my phone.
You know?
Which you can make music, but it's not quite the same.
Yeah, you can make music on the phone these days. You got these AI apps now. All you got to do is give them a prompt, and they'll make a song for you in seconds.
I actually just saw an AI. I just had to screenshot it because it was something like a DJ mixing AI thing, and I was like, "Well,
it's
this
scary. It is really it's something else." I tell you.
Yeah, agreed. All right, Stuart. So you were saying, with the Performance Rights Society, the PRS, that you realize that although, for example, Radio Cayman is paying the license fee, and we're the only broadcast
the monies
station.
we're not making it back to writers, publishers, and creators here and the island. So when I got in touch with PRS, I said, "Well, why is this the case?" And they said, "Well, we're not receiving the logs." So we said, "All right."
And what are the logs?
The logs are
how many times it ran.
The logs are the actual records of the songs that are playing.
Gotcha.
And how much they play, and things like this, and the frequency with which certain records are played, this kind of thing. And then we said, all right, well, so what happened to the money then? Since they said, well, we were paying it out analogously, but they didn't define that for us, and so we didn't know what that meant. Whether it meant the monies were being paid to larger acts, as with streaming, you find that a lot of the monies that are made they prorate it and give it to the bigger artists, right?
How does that make sense?
Well, it's
I don't understand.
Yeah, so if you're like the royalties are based on market share. So the bigger artists, if 20 cents is made, it's prorated based on market share, and the bigger artists get more of the monies that are collected. Mm-hmm. And so we weren't sure whether analogously referred to that principle or whether it meant that this money was being paid out in executive bonuses at the end of the year. And we didn't even know how much the money was collected, what the rate Radio Cayman was paying, essentially. And these rates are based on different tariffs, like, based on listenership. And for hotels, it's based on square footage. For live venues, it's based on capacity. And that's how they charge the different blanket licenses, right?
Okay.
And you can pay one society, and that's all you need to do, because the deals between the societies around the world are reciprocal. So if you pay PRS and music is played here from an artist who is licensed to ASCAP, they'll still get their money because of the reciprocal agreements between the performing rights organizations.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Right,
okay.
Yeah. So what's happened now is that I've put PRS in touch with Radio Cayman, and the powers that be, as it were, are now exchanging the relevant information. And so artists should be getting paid. What's happened since, as a recent development, is that PRS has since relinquished the jurisdiction, and they've handed it over to JCAP, which is the Jamaican Society of Composers and Publishers, right? Jamaica Association of Composers and Publishers. And so JCAP is now responsible for collections in Cayman. And they have hired a consulting firm to begin the process of connecting the dots. Now, the lady who was doing that contacted me, and we've been in touch. And And I wrote her an email the other day just to check to see where things are at. And her counterparts, her colleagues, wrote back to me, said she passed away.
Oh.
Yeah. And so I was like, we're back at basically at scratch now, because now what we really need in this country is a KCAP, a Cayman Association of Composers and Publishers, which collects the blanket license from hotels, live venues, radio stations, and anyone who's in the business of, these are nominal amounts of monies, but they add up, all right? And so that is what is missing from the industry here, because we have creatives who are making music with no way to for remuneration. And so that has been, this has gone on for nearly 30 or 40 years now.
So hold on, Stuart. So the Performing Rights Society, who's supposed to be collecting your royalties, disbursing them, they said, hey, we're now going to give this, or we'll introduce like an intermediary, which is JCAP. Hold on, Stuart. Hold on. And JCAP, because so they gave it to JCAP, you guys take care of this.
Yeah.
JCAP was trying, but then...
Because I was getting so, the truth is always so precious that she's often surrounded by a great body of lies.
Yeah.
And once you start to get close to the truth, strange things begin to happen.
So why can't this go back to the Performing Rights Society?
I don't know. They relinquished the jurisdiction and gave it over to JCAP. And now we're trying to close that gap and getting the blanket licenses being paid to JCAP now. And so, and sending the logs to JCAP as well.
Because how do we feel about that?
Well, I don't know. I think that not everyone's pleased. I certainly would prefer if we had a Cayman, a KCAP, and we were collecting the licenses here.
I agree.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Jamaica has their own
I'm not
issues in music.
These things have not made me popular in certain circles, but we have to fight for our rights.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people who would like to take credit for the work I've done in relation to this, but the people who are involved all know who's done the work here. And this is how I ended up becoming an attorney, because I was advising the lawyers on this stuff.
Right.
And I realized that, wait a minute, I should be doing this myself.
Right. Yeah.
And so we really need to find a way now to close the gap now that JCAP is involved. Whether or not we can go back to PRS, I don't know that that's an option. Administratively, it may not have been, the cost benefit ratio may have been inverse for them. It may, because it costs a bit to have an office in Cayman and administrate and collect the license. They would have to pay salaried employees to do that, and maybe even get volunteers involved. And it's administratively, the cost may have been more than what they actually collected. And so PRS actually wanted me to do a survey in Cayman to find out how many blanket licenses could be collected. And before all of that happened, they relinquished the jurisdiction and gave it to JCAP.
So the other thing on that, even though you pointed out that Radio Cayman is the only broadcast station that is paying the license fee, we're not the only radio station here.
No.
Period, point blank.
Right.
And from my understanding, I don't know if it's per law, and I did send a message to my director just to clarify, but I thought it was a law or something when it comes to the broadcasting rules.
No.
That each station has to play a certain percentage Caymanian music.
Well, that's an MOU. That was a memorandum of understanding
right.
between the Cayman Music Association and the radio stations.
But that's not happening.
It's not happening either, right? And so all of these things work in tandem, right? Because the fact that if there is a certain amount of local music being played and artists were then actually being paid, then it would create an industry here. And that's why we've never had one. Mm-hmm. Because the fundamental infrastructure that should exist for that to be a reality does not. And so that is what I'm fighting for. That is why where the advocacy of has come into my life. Mm-hmm. And this is where I find myself. And it fell on at my feet. It fell on it became my responsibility. And so this is just this is just where my life is ended.
Right.
This is the road that's being sort of paved in front of me.
Gotcha.
I didn't ask for this challenge. But
this was the opportunity that you saw.
But I'm the guy to I think that God brought it to me to deal with for a reason. This is the
fight that you're doing. Let's get into some music, Stuart. Let's get into some music. We're going to bring some good vibes right now. So before we go to the next commercial break, I want you to bring us some of your sweet Stuart Wilson sounds.
You want me to play something live? I know a place in the sun where every day people make haste to come. 3 little islands in the deep blue sea of Cayman Islands, that's the place to be. And in this place there is non-stop fun. A different pace, still enough for everyone. We set adrift on the sweet cool breeze. Okay, Cayman Islands, that's the place to be. And though I may cross the foam, you'll always remain my home. I may cross the foam, Rum Point, Sandbar and Stingray City, and so much love in every district. Under the stars we unravel the mysteries. Okay, Cayman Islands, that's the place to be. And though I may cross the foam, you'll always remain mine. Though I may cross the foam, though I may cross the foam, you'll always remain mine.
All right. That was beautiful. There we go. Some live music by Stuart Wilson. We're going to go to commercial break right now. When we come back, we're going to wrap up our conversation. We're going to hear a little bit more about Stuart, what his plans are for the future, where he's at now.
Summer's heating up and the water's calling. From cruising the coast in your boat to riding Yamaha wave runners, Automotive Art Cayman will get you ready. We offer expert servicing by Yamaha certified staff, as well as engine repairs, performance upgrades, engine and electrical installation, and more. Need it tuned, cleaned, repaired, or race ready? We'll keep you running smooth, whether you're riding waves or racing them. Trust Automotive Art for expert service and upgrades. Find us on Shedden Road and follow us at Auto RKY on Instagram and Automotive Art Cayman on Facebook.
For the Health of It, heard on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and repeated on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. Brought to you by UHealth International, University of Miami Health System. International patients go to UHealth International for consultations with renowned physicians, advanced treatment technologies, leading-edge medical therapies, and state-of-the-art surgical procedures. Whatever your particular reason for going to UHealth International, you will receive customized medical care delivered within a compassionate, multicultural setting. The care you need when you need it.
Are you a Caymanian job seeker? Work urges Caymanians to use the Work Jobs portal, the only platform that allows Work to verify that Caymanians are being considered first, as the law requires. You can browse job listings across a wide range of sectors and apply directly from the portal. Register today by visiting work.ky. That's worc.ky, or email customer care at worc@gov.ky for assistance. Don't miss your chance. Your career opportunity could just be a few clicks away.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
All right, welcome back to The Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller, and in studio with me this morning, I have Stuart Wilson. If you were lucky enough to hear the beautiful song he just played, Stuart, what's the name of that one?
It's called O Cayman Islands.
And what inspired that besides maybe
Man,
the
just
Cayman
home.
Islands?
It's an ode to my home.
Love it.
You know?
Yeah.
It's just one of those. And it's actually 2006 I wrote that. And it's actually, it was for a Pirates Week competition, you know?
Okay.
Song competition. And I must say, they got to bring back the song competition. Hopefully they'll do it this year. But I miss, you know, my good friend Notch, who was the president of the Music Association. When he was president, these things were happening. And I don't know what's happened now that he's not the president. These things are no longer happening. I think we need to bring Notch back as the president of the Cayman Islands Music Association, because he was actually making things happen.
Who's the current president?
It's supposed to be Steve Reed, but I think that's I don't know what's happening there. Really, I don't. It's been nearly 3 years now, and I can't tell you what's going on. But anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. But
bring back Notch. Let's go.
And the songwriting competition is part of Pirates. They don't know what's going on with Pirates Week either. I mean, I'm just going to be real about it.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah,
man,
that's been a bit of a mess for a few years.
But the song competition is where that song came from, and
bring it back.
I think we need to bring it back, you know.
I'd have to agree with you on
some
that.
great songs came out of that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I like this song that Vashti's got now. This one she just finished about Cayman. I'm proud to be Caymanian.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, there's so many good things happening. And, you know, I've been working with Jason Gilbert again. He and myself, you know, we did Rule the World together some time ago. And we've really been working on some new material I'm very proud of. And it's just a really great time to be creative, great time to be involved in these kinds of pursuits, you know?
You see Yannick Powell or A.K.
he
Vasco, who works with us as
have
well.
got a song that I love. This is Magic Wheel. I don't know the actual title of it, but it's amazing. I love that tune. I heard it yesterday again. Every time I hear it, I think, man, these guys are really, really rocking, you know?
So do you think that where Caymanian music is, or just with Caymanian musicians, artists out there, singers and songwriters, do you think that this is still a strong culture of Caymanians involved in music?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. I think that it's probably stronger now than ever before, man. I mean, you know, I find that the at least on the live scene too, we're much more united. People are working together. You know, at the highest levels in anything, people are not competing. They're collaborating.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right.
Completely agree with you on that.
And I find that the more more quality the musicians are coming out now, or the you know, Benil went to Berkeley, and you know, Vasco he's trained, you know, plays saxophone, plays several different instruments, and I think that, you know, these kinds of talents, they know how to work together.
Right.
And I think I'm just extremely excited about, you know, the future of music here in Cayman and all creative pursuits, really. I mean, I think that now is a great time, you know, the access that we have to the internet. I didn't have that growing up. They've got really...
You talked about getting in trouble.
Yeah.
You might have been in a whole lot more trouble.
Right.
Yeah, you might have been in a whole lot more trouble.
So, I mean, you know, it's a great time to be in music. It's a great time to be alive, really.
Now, what's next for you?
I don't know. It's up to I mean, I know that I'm just planting the seeds and sowing, but the reaping is up to God. And, you know, He's the one that will give the increase.
Right now you work for the National Trust.
I do work for the National Trust. I'm a historic programs manager, and I'm responsible for the built heritage, which is, you know, the old-time Caymanian homes. And I'm also responsible for, you know, doing lectures in schools about Caymanian culture.
What kind of schools are we talking about?
All the schools, CIS, government schools. I go everywhere, and
so
I talk
what are
about
these? This is very important because we have had so many callers ever since I've been regularly on air over the past year now. And what I hear on Talk Today, what I hear on For the Record, we have a lot of callers, or there's a sentiment going around that there needs to be some sort of a Caymanian culture being taught in the school.
Well, this is what's happening now. We have really been juggling with the idea of a curriculum for students that includes Caymanian culture. And that is something that we are working on. There was a task force put together by one of the governments previously where we were looking at things like this. But as you know, successive governments, different governments come in, they may have slightly different priorities, or there may be things that come up that take precedence.
Right.
And
yeah.
so, you know what I mean? And the emergencies and what have you. But I like I say, it's something that we are really looking at.
So when you do go in to teach about Caymanian culture, what are the elements that you're
Well, I talk to them
teaching the
about
children
everything, about the industries that were here, from thatch rope to guano to everything.
Guano?
Guano is bird poo.
What?
Yeah.
Why am I just hearing about this?
Yeah, man. And we had a sponge industry where this was known as the island of women, because all of our men were off to sea.
Well, I feel like it still is the island of women because there's barely no men here.
Yeah, well, I mean...
That's why you get in trouble, Stuart.
No, but, we had a sponge industry, too, where they would collect sponges off of the beach and they send them to, places. People would come and take these sponges back to Europe and different places and use them in their kitchens and things like this. We had an egg industry here. We would collect eggs and, that was a big thing, too. But... I talk to these kids about everything from turtling to how we've become more conservation conscious over time. We now protect the sharks and we protect the turtles. And I talk to them about development and balancing development with conservation and preservation of culture.
That's such a hard topic.
Yeah, and our thatch rope was known as the strongest rope in the world for many years. And it was replaced in 1934 with nylon by a company by the name of DuPont. And so I talked to these children about some of those aspects of their history that they may not be aware of. And, some of the unique, a lot of people don't know that we in the Cayman Islands have more endemic species than even the Galapagos.
No way.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's because we were a little landmass that formed in a remote sort of part of the ocean, not near any other landmass. And so a lot of the flora and fauna that have evolved here over time have done so with a specific set of genome, very distinct genome sequence. We've got silver thatch, we got the brown bat, we got the blue iguana, we got Caymanite, we got ironwood. And so there are so many, orchids is another thing. And we've got classes of species of ants and birds here that can't be found anywhere else either. And so this is a very, very special little place under the sun. And I think we often forget that, and that's why I think my job is as a musician, as an artist, as a historian, as a lawyer, as an attorney. It is my job to really to really sing about, write about, and talk about these things.
A guardian of the culture.
Indeed.
Absolutely. Is there any last thoughts, words you want to leave with our listeners? And any aspiring musicians?
Well, I just want to say thanks. Thanks for having me this morning. Thanks to Radio Cayman for what you guys do, and and you're playing our music here on the air. I'm so thankful for that. We would be nothing without radio. And just like what I want to leave everybody with is that just like every other profession in Cayman needs representation, the musicians need representation too. And just like how Caymanians should be put first in the workplace, they should be put first on the airwaves. We don't have anybody advocating for musicians in that way, but we need that.
We did.
Who's that?
We did have people advocating for musicians in that way. I mean, look back at that memorandum of
Indeed, but has it happened?
It's happened with Radio Cayman, and I know when it rolled out that it was happening on other stations. Yeah. Are they consistent with it?
Well, I hope so. That's what we're fighting for.
Yeah.
Because like I say, every other profession in Cayman, they say put Caymanians first, except for music. And so I'm simply saying that we need to have that same sentiment for music.
I hear that a lot with the DJs as well.
Yeah, actually. And I mean, because the Honduras DJ is going to play reggaeton. The American DJs are going to play their thing, but we need some representation too, and we need to highlight what's emanating from our people.
And to be properly compensated as well.
And
because there's a bit of a mindset here that we're giving you this opportunity.
These are not popular discussions to have, I got to tell you. Mm-hmm. And,
But Stuart, one thing I learned is what you value.
Yeah.
You're never going to ask for it for free. So when people are wanting something for free, you're kind of like, so you have no value to this. And then they argue that point with you. And you're like, but if you did, you would agree to a price.
Yeah.
You would see that I need to be paid for this service.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not any fun being the Pied Piper, though, you know?
Yeah. But
because not everyone may want to hear what you're saying, and it's not pleasant all the time to fight for rights. But it's something that is necessary.
It's also not pleasant to be stuck in stagnation.
Yeah, right? You know. But we are heading in the right direction, and I think that the everyone I speak to, they agree with the sentiment that we need to find a way to create more avenues for creative interests here in the island, and
100% agree.
And we need to have a cultural sort of component to our sort of collective purse. You know, if the monies are coming, we need to create that avenue where we have tourism, we have finance, we have all these other sectors, but we need to make sure that we nurture cultural and expressive avenues as well.
Absolutely. Totally agree, because all of that, all the art, it speaks right back to your soul.
Yeah, 100%.
Invest in it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for joining me this morning on The Buzz.
Guys.
It was
Thank
great
you
to
so
have
much.
you.
Big up Radio Cayman. Thank you.
Toot.
One love.
I'll be back with everybody on Thursday morning, and have a great Tuesday. The Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. And Automotive Art Cayman.